Hello, hello. Your old pal Stevie Coyle here, Mighty Fine Guitars, the Friday Noontime webcast from Lafayette, California, heart of the Tri-Cities area. On today's show, I'm going to do the usual thing, make sure that things are happening here on the interwebs. I think so. Let's do that and that. Alrighty, come on in. Come on in. On today's show, a Preston Thompson 00 in Madagascar and Adirondack. Delicious. I'll show you. A great big mystery, and it sure is puzzling me, and that's a diddy-wah-diddy, diddy-wah-diddy. Won't somebody tell me what diddy-wah-diddy means? Oh, don't bother. It's lovely. It's a 00 size, which means it's essentially the size of a classical guitar. Let me make sure that we've got some folks happening here. Come on in, everybody. If you're so inclined, there you go. And as usual, I can't see your comments. I don't know what has happened to my system in the past little while, but for whatever reason, I'm unable to see your comments as they go by. I'll just trust you there. If you've got comments or questions, stack them up, and I'll get to them after the webcast and post them in the, just in the thread down below there. Highly articulate guitar, a real fingerstyle guitar. Not to say you couldn't play, bluegrass on it or big strummy stuff, but it's really kind of maximized. It's got the pick guard and everything, but it's really maximized for fingerstyle play. It's a 14 fret and it's long scale, which is a little unusual for some 00s. Now, of course, here we're using the Martin designations of Dreadnought, Triple O, OM. There is a Quadruple O, but it's not seen too frequently. Dreadnought, Quadruple O, Triple O/OM, 00O, and then parlor guitars below that, which get numbers, 1s and 2s and 2s and halves. Really loud, really articulate guitar, and pretty. Madagascar rosewood, Adirondack spruce, Maddie Addy they call that, Maddie Addy, and some really nice appointments: herringbone, ivoroid trim, bound fingerboard, already sounds great. And after playing guitars for a few years, I can tell you this one's going to mellow into something really remarkable. Preston Thompson and one of his kids, I think, 12 years ago when I was setting up the shop here. I'm not even sure we had the walls in yet. But he stopped by. He had a carload of guitars and was driving up and down the West Coast showing off his guitars, seeing if anybody wanted to buy any for resale. And it was about that time I was deciding to go for a full consignment business model here rather than buying guitars and selling them. That's really interesting. I was a little bit late today because I was having a great time playing this guitar. Sorry about that. Anyway, they came by as I was. I think we just had the floor bits put in, and we're building the walls, and we had these guitars scattered all around the floor here. Fantastic things. Preston has passed away just a few months ago, but the shop is still happening out of Sisters, Oregon. And that may be where I met him the first time. It's when the band I was with before, Menudo, perhaps you remember them, was playing in Sisters, Oregon, and I think that might have been where I first met Preston and the crew. And you know who plays Preston Thompson guitars? Well, I'll tell you. I just looked it up. They have a wonderful website. I think it's PrestonThompsonGuitars.com. Isn't that where I ended up? Just Google it up. You'll get there. Peter Rowan, Plays a lovely tripolo that he bought from the Thompson crew at Winfield all those years ago. Tim May, Steve Blanchard, Eric Bibb, Billy Strings, Molly Tuttle. These are all Preston Thompson owners, proud owners of Preston Thompson guitars. Laurie Lewis, my close personal friend. Jordan Tice, Claire Lynch, Trey Hensley, Al Petaway, God rest him, played these guitars. And a fellow on the website who has the funnest name of them all to say out loud, Gustavo Fofao. Gustavo Fofao. Try it. It'll make you happier, which is probably useful. Gustavo Fofao. F-O-F-A-O. Schwartz. Well, they do a classy thing too. They send you home with a little booklet that tells you all about your guitar with check marks over what you got. And what kind of spruce did you get? This one's Adirondack. Well, actually, first of all, it says 00 Maddie Addy Long Scale Custom. This was made custom made. And it's serial number 1245. Top is Adirondack spruce. Back and sides are Madagascar rosewood. Rosette is abalone 3-ring. Tells you all about the braces. Tells you all about the neck, mahogany neck. Binding and trim are grained ivorite and herringbone. Peghead overlay, peghead inlay, fingerboard, ebony fingerboard. Lovely guitar. I'll play it some more for you just because that's where the thing happens. It's, like I said, it's long scale, 25/4 instead of 24/9, which means you can hit it nice and hard without it rattling. Good for drop tunings. If you're doing dadgad, drop D, any of those Orkney, Dorkney kind of tunings. Anything but the, what some people unkindly refer to as missionary tuning. Standard tuning is fine. It gets the job done. Bright, clear, forward sort of sound. And that's what you can do with a long scale guitar, is kind of hit those bass notes good and hard and they won't rattle. Or the trade-off is a little stiffer in the left hand, not too bad. 1 3/4, kind of on the wide side of 1 3/4, I'd say. This is what happens when you get handmade necks. They're not all the same. Kind of a flat fingerboard profile. So there's plenty of room, like I say, maximized for fingerstyle. There's plenty of room to get around over there on the fingerboard. It's kind of enchanted with the sound. Pardon me, I'll be right with you. Lovely guitar. Still haven't figured out the price quite yet. Stay tuned for that. Just came in. Still doing a little research. But it's Madagascar and Adirondack, so it's going to be a few dollars. But you know, there's what you pay, and then there's what you get. And a guitar, this is a keeper. In my book, as a fingerstyler, this is just about right. Big enough to have volume and punch, small enough to play on the couch, or let's face it, a lot of guitar gets played these days watching television, not watching the news. Too tense. Do you see me reserving comment here? That's what I'm doing. Big, full sound out of a small-bodied guitar. Very comfortable to play. If I could sit cross-legged, I'd sit cross-legged and show you that. Kind of kick back on the couch. This is a great size. This is the size of my Alpha guitar, my Ace guitar, my The Precious, made by Ellen Perlman, same body size, 00. which, like I was saying at the outset of the recording here, is the size of a classical guitar, but so much more by my lights, not being a classical guitar. That was the saddest little Christmas ever. I was hoping and hoping and hoping for a guitar, and I got a classical guitar. And I had to smile and say, thank you, this is great, I just love it. And they finally got the idea that that was not what I was after. They said, we went into the store and we kind of strummed across the strings like this. It was hanging on the wall. And we said, what a nice, soft, mellow sound. I don't want mellow, soft. I want to make a lot of racket. So they finally figured out that this was not the guitar I was after. And they got me a nice Martin. I wonder if anybody knows, or a D18 out there, numbered 232192. Yes, I'm a nerd. I remember the serial number. 232192. If anybody knows where it is, I'm just curious. It's not like I want it back, but I would like to know where it went. It was a wonderful guitar. Huh, Rocco? You bet. Ooh, a nice rumble. When you get it in tune, that low string, when I popped that string into tune, the whole guitar started rumbling. Wow, come and get it, folks. Preston Thompson, 00, custom long scale, serial number 1245. And just because I'm quite sure there are comments and questions here that I can't see on my Etch-a-Sketch here, don't know why that's happening, but I'll look for your comments and questions. Do feel free to pass this along to anyone you think this video, which is to say not the guitar, got to buy it. But do feel free to pass along the video and any of these videos to folks that you think might be interested in seeing and hearing guitars as best can be done on an online situation. The Quitters, thank you for asking. Myself and Glenn Pomyanik are playing in Santa Cruz at the Meter Barn House Concerts. Check it out at quittersduo.com. Hit the tour link. And we'll be in Santa Cruz this weekend, Sunday. Next Sunday, we're in Tiburon, California, in that cool little white church that sits up on top of the hill there, St. Hilary's. No, not that Hillary. There are other Hillarys. And I'll look forward to seeing you next week. Next week, I think the guitar that I'll be featuring is a cool 70s era. Now, don't be scared, because this one turned out good and got refixed up by that guy, Matt Kerslake, up in Santa Rosa, that brings guitars back from the dead. He took this 1971 Gibson Hummingbird, which was okay, I guess it was all right, and he made it, fixed it all up. So that'll be next week's feature. Stay tuned for the Hummingbird next week. Your old pal Stevie Coyle here at Mighty Fine Guitars in Lafayette, California. MightyFineGuitars.com. Signing off for this week, and look forward to seeing you next Friday. Down the road, everybody. Ba-da-da-da-da.